Yo, what's up with it, y'all? It's your boy Red Dot Sports Talk here with another damn video. Man, I just want to get into my Los Angeles Lakers. It's a little off-season preview or off-season blueprint, if you will. I just want to talk about some certain things that the Lakers are going to be looking at during this off-season. And the first things first that I want to talk about is the front office. You know, you got Jeannie Buss, the Rambuses in the corner, Rob Pelinka. You know, you can might as well throw in Phil Jackson and Magic Johnson. Seem like everybody a part of the front office, man. We don't know who's really in charge. Jeannie's supposed to be in charge, but it seemed like everybody got their hand in. And I think one of the first things they should look at, but I don't know if they will, they keep everything in-house with Lakers, but I think they need to shake some things up and try to get in some new, fresh people, fresh faces to make some decisions, you know. Rob Pelinka simply did not do his job well last offseason. Well, you can say really after we won the title in 2020, every move that we've made has been a head scratcher, you know. I mean, they're not going to get rid of Rob Pelinka, doesn't seem like, but, you know, somebody has to be held accountable, man. I mean, everybody pointing the finger, man. The front office has to get all on the same page, work together, I guess. Jeannie Buss got to put her foot down, and really, I think she should just stop asking for everyone's opinion and, you know, just let people do their jobs. You know, I think that's a problem also. A lot of puppeteers going around, you know. So the front office has to do their due diligence and, you know, try to fix this thing from the top, because that's where it starts, from the top. And next, what I want to talk about is the coaching, which also that comes from the front office also. So that kind of ties in. The front office has to make the right decision on the coach. Who's going to be the coach? I think Frank Vogel was the scapegoat. He got a bad end of the stick. I mean, you get rid of he's a defensive coach, and you get rid of all of the personnel, the defensive personnel. You know, you get rid of it. You bring in all these offensive players, so-called shooters. You know, nobody wants to play defense. You know, only thing I do blame Frank Vogel on his rotations. You know, sometimes, well, a lot of times inconsistent. You know, but he did bring us. He did help us coach us to a title. But I mean, I guess that just had to end. You know, they kind of disrespected him by not. They only, after we won the chip, I think they gave him a 2-year extension or 1 year. That's kind of disrespectful for a coach. You know, usually you would lock him up. So he probably felt some type of way about that. You know, this whole season was a wash, you know. So the coaches that are out there that we have interviewed has been Darwin Ham, which I'm interested in him. He actually, you know, was already an assistant for the Lakers once upon a time. And then you have Quinn Snyder. I don't know if he's a real candidate. I don't know. He hasn't really decided. Is he going to go back to Utah or not? We have no idea. So I wouldn't mind having him. Doc Rivers is another name that's been brought up. Not one of my favorite names that has been brought up. You know, you can't blame everything on coaches. I know they have the narrative that I think he has the most blown 3-1 leads. He only has one chip. I mean, he's a coach that's usually held in high regard, but he's a big name, but he's not one of my favorite names that have been brought up. Then also we have Mark Jackson. We interviewed Mark Jackson. I would love to have Mark Jackson. I know he's been out for a while. He hasn't coached in some years. But I think him sitting in a commentating the game. He's sitting back watching all these players. He's been watching the league for some time. He's been able to analyze from a different perspective. I think he still can coach and knows what works and what doesn't. I think he's a perfect coach that will hold players accountable, especially the superstars. I feel like LeBron James respects Mark Jackson and would listen to him. That's a different story for Westbrook. If we keep Westbrook, if we can't find a trade, I don't know. That's gonna be one of my other points later on. And then we go on to LeBron's extension. He can't sign an extension until August. So I don't know if he's just gonna do a 1-and-1 until his son gets in the league. That's what I'm thinking he does. We've already came out and said that they're not gonna try to trade LeBron, even if he doesn't sign the extension. I think that's a mistake, but I mean, I guess it would look. Some say it would look bad if we trade LeBron. I mean, if it's just business, it's business, man. If he says he's not signing an extension, why let him walk for nothing? We can get something back, you know. And about the Russell Westbrook trade, there's a lot of different trade packages and scenarios that have been thrown out there since the season ended. It seems like it's going to be very tough to move him this offseason. Hopefully we don't have to attach any first round picks that we do have, because we only have, what, 1 or 2. Hope we don't have to use those just to get rid of them. I mean, if you had to do that, you might as well keep them for this season. I feel like there's not really much moves they can make to really contend. I mean, it all depends on Anthony Davis being healthy. He's the best player on the team at this point. So that's a later talking point. I will get to that about AD. But yeah, with the Rush trade, there's a lot of scenarios out there. I heard the Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier. Which Gordon Hayward, I mean, he's injury prone with a big contract. I don't know if that would be smart. If they can get rid of Russ without, doing anything foolish, I'm all for it. Russ just doesn't fit with the team. When you got Russ, who's a ball-dominant player who needs the ball in his hand, it's not going to work. When you have another player like LeBron, who's ball-dominant, who needs the ball in his hand, then you have the so-called best player on the team, Anthony Davis. He needs the ball, He needs to be fed the ball. So we got too many guys who are too dependent on having the ball and needing the ball. So, I mean, that showed this. I already knew that wasn't going to work before the season even started. We had hope that they could figure it out, but, they just never got it together. So, the last thing I want to talk about, should we look to move Anthony Davis? His value is not going to get any higher, if you ask me. I mean, the last 2 years he's been injured. I think he's only played like 40 games each season. I think both this past season, the season before, all the games he played added up together, I don't even think it equals 82 games. I would have to go do my research on that. But if it is, it's not too far off, I don't know, man. Anthony Davis, we looked at him as someone to take the torch and lead the team and be that first option and just be there night in, night out, being the best player, It just seems to not have been the case, man. He's always having knick-knack injuries, and when he did play, he just wasn't impacting like he did in 2020. So if you're asking me, in my opinion, if we get some good deals that we could get for him, I'd look to actually trade him, man. We need to get younger and more athletic, because that's where the league is headed to. It's just like he hasn't shown us any other signs of staying healthy, It's going to get to the point where we keep him. You're not going to be able to get pretty much nothing for him if he gets another injury, So, yeah, man, that was just my little recap of little talking points of what the Lakers are looking at this offseason. I will be doing more Laker videos because, that's my team. I am a Laker fan. Do my best to not be biased at all. But you can be looking towards more Laker videos, especially after these playoffs are over with and the offseason rolls around. I will be doing different videos on different teams and where they stand at, you know. But yeah, that's all for this. Segment right here. This is your boy Red Dot Sports Talk. Y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe the video, and I'm outie.